I have the honor of being a Connecticut arts hero, and I'm inviting you to attend a fun-filled event at Infinity Hall in Hartford, Wednesday, January 18th at 7 p.m. I hope you can join us.
And a lot of people join us. Our next guest, he has been making art his passion for more than 40 years and was one of the recent recipients of the Art Hero Award in Connecticut. Happy to have Stewart Wilson with us, and we are going to explain what you saw there. It was Personaville, one of your personas right there on your lapel. Good to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
And congratulations.
Oh, thanks. I really was honored to be picked out among a lot of great volunteers and heroes. I mean, the state of Connecticut is just filled with heroes, people volunteering to make their communities a better place, and I'm just one of those people.
Okay. Well, we got 40 years to go through. We could not possibly have enough time, but I know it started, you had an art gallery in New York City. You've done so much work just trying to expand the arts in Connecticut. How would you describe for the people at home what you have tried to do, your most motivating factor over those last 40 years?
Well, I think it's about sharing your talents and yourselves. You know, it's we really want to promote our humanity and our creativity and community, you know, where I think we're at our best when we're sharing and we're enjoying each other, and it makes life worthwhile. And so whether you're a professional, famous artist, now some of the artists I showed back when in New York City or now at the Whitney and Museum of Modern Art, et cetera, et cetera. But to me, it's an art for all policy, which means that everybody is equally invited to share what they're doing. Yeah. And everybody's work, everyone's voice is very important and unique. And so, and when we let that happen, there's great energy and just a great possibility.
Yes, and I love the possibility with Persona Land, which is what you were seeing there, sort of a digital mini universe that's designed to bring art from all over the world and make it accessible for people. And through personas, one of which you have on your lapel, you've made over 30,000 of them. How would you describe what a persona is and how it relates to Persona Land?
Well, I call them my wrapped representatives from another dimension, here for peaceful purposes. Yes. The personas have been my inspiration, and they've maybe brought me towards community and humanity in a kind of a interesting way. And now in the 21st century, after creating 2 physical arts organizations, I looked at the 21st century and its opportunities for artists to do something very unique and different that we couldn't do in the 20th century. Yeah. And so we created Persona Land, which is now online and global, and in a way personas can come alive in this land because we use 3D game technology to take the sculptures, turn them into digital figures. I got into a mocap studio to put on the little dots and move around and rig them so that when you see them dancing and walking around, it's me. Yeah. And the potential for a greater, more immersive, in some way more intimate community worldwide is definitely now available. We've shown 500 artists from 53 countries. There's another 140 or so to go. So if you're out there, please share your talents. We're always open. We're always welcoming. We're always respectful. That's very important for us.
Absolutely. I just loved watching. I'm sorry. I should have been looking at you, but I was looking at the video of Persona Land, and you sort of go into a clubhouse, and there you are at your art studio. But there's more than that. There's also games that kids can play, too. So you're trying to draw in definitely a younger generation as well.
Exactly. There's dancing flowers. There's a wishing well. There's a movie that you can watch about an immigrant at odds with authority that we created using the characters. It's and there's so much more that we want to do soon. We're moving into the metaverse. Actually, that'll be our next venture, sort of turning the personas from a 2D experience to a 3D and a VR experience.
And you could tell just by the way that what we saw in Persona Land was rendered. That's the obvious next step to get into VR to make it even more immersive. But art never sits still. What is next? We have a little time left. Where else are you going to try to take Persona Land, and what else do you have cooking up in the noodle up there?
Well, this year is going to be a very wonderful and exciting year in terms of our programming. We're doing a show coming up. The show now, the mystery show, you should go see it. It's got artists, I think, from 13 different countries, nearly 80 pieces. Wow. They're wonderful. But our next show is inviting people to go postal in a good way. All you have to do is put your artwork on a postcard-sized thing, put a stamp on it, and then we have the P.O. box at the site. You just mail it to us. Yep. I think it's P.O. Box 219, Harwinton, Connecticut 06791, and you're in the show. But what's really an add-on is that we're going to try to do some physical shows with the postcards, sending them around the world.
Oh, that's great. Just another way to try to connect people. This is great. Thank you for taking the time to join us to tell us everything you've done.
My pleasure, Tim.
Again, we could never encompass 40 years of work in the arts into 2 or 3 minutes, but we certainly do the best we can.